but you're not really done.
I know.
I just want to touch base on Ezekiel 13. Because you touch base on people basing and determining and not properly discerning based upon what they say they see. But Ezekiel 13 is clear. And it says in verse 6 that they have seen vanity and lying divination, saying that Yahuwah said, and Yahuwah has not sent them. And they have made others to hope, made others to believe, wanting people to believe that they would confirm the word. But see, the word of Yahuwah cannot be confirmed through a lie.
Oh!
Yeah.
The word of Yahuwah will never be confirmed through a liar. It's just simply saying, even if Yahuwah shows a person something, doesn't make them a prophet.
Say that. Yes.
Because the first step is, can he trust you to show you something?
Yes.
Can you handle what Yahuwah shows you?
Yes.
Does he know that if he trusts you with something, that you're not going to mishandle what he shows you?
Come on.
It's important. Verse 7 says, have you not seen a vain vision? So when we begin to talk about the things that begin to nullify and disintegrate and try to rule out the things of Yahuwah and causing things to become vain because flesh has stepped in, not only makes us unaccountable, but makes us untrustworthy.
Say that.
See, it's not just in this time, but no matter where each and every one of us are, you must ask yourself, can Yahuwah trust me?
Yes. Yes.
Can he trust me? When I create a facade to others, so it seems like I'm in good standing. Can he trust me with how I conduct myself in my speech? Can he trust me in how I handle my daily actions? Can he trust me to be able to open my mouth and allow the Ruach HaKodesh to speak and it not be my flesh? For I know that if my flesh speaks, there's a death coming behind what I speak. Life and death are in the power of what? The tongue. There's a reason why that is laid the way that it is. And there's a reason why we have to watch what we say. Because we are accountable.
Yes.
And those who say that they are of the Most High, no matter where you are, whether you just started on this journey or whether you've been under this journey for years, we are all held to the same accountability when it comes to our submission.
Yes.
It does not change. Everyone, I'm serving the Most High, then we need to make it our business to learn what the Most High wants, what the Most High likes, what he does not like, learn how to love what he loves and hate what he hates, and do not compromise.
Say that.
Because too many compromise.
Yes.
And we compromise based on how we feel day to day, or how life will throw you a curveball or even an attack. But even such as the example, even a minister today who said, I'm going to press despite.
Yes.
So much for the excuses for those who say, I don't feel like going today. I just don't feel like coming. I know what's going to happen, so there's no need for me to show up. And I request permission even at this moment for me. Why? Because although we're coots, I respect this house. But I also know when distractions are in the house.
Come on. Set it in order.
Come on.
Set it in order.
Come on.
When the rock is speaking, and I understand the children are back there, I've got that. But I got a problem with the adults talking when the rock is speaking.
Come on.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
When we say Shema, it is not just about saying, I heard you. It is about saying unto Yahuwah, I hear, and I'm going to choose to obey what you said. Because I know that if I base my own understanding of where I am, and if I put everything on the front line, see, people miss it. And the bottom line of what Yahuwah is saying today is be transparent.
That's it. That's it.
It's quiet.
That's it.
Transparency is the key. Why only 2-3 people recognize what I said?
That's it.
This is the discernment she was talking about. Transparency. Some people can get to the place where they're not afraid of speaking what has happened unto them. And how Yahuwah has caused them to overcome. But what are you going to do next? If we can keep it honest, I can tell you some things that have happened in my life. I can tell you some stories about how I overcame. But what am I going to do from this point forward? Because from this day forward, I got a new measure of accountability. Why? Because if he already brought me out of something, then I already seen part of what he can do.
Yes.
So then I know that Elohim is not a liar. I know that whatever Yahuwah speaks is true. Whatever is in this barn cannot return void unto itself. It is set to accomplish what it is aimed to do. Whether I obey it or not, it's going to happen. But am I going to allow him to use me so that I'm part of this gathering in the end? Because if I don't avail myself and submit myself, I'm going to wind up being as so much as people seek being removed. I don't want to be removed. I want to reign with Yahuwah.
Yes.
Well, you got to do things
That you're uncomfortable.
to show yourself approved.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
It's not comfortable.
No, it ain't comfortable.
It's not.
None of this walk is comfortable. A lot of stuff we got to take in this walk. I'd be lying if I stood right here before you and told you everything was going to be easy and smooth. But the honesty of it is that you are going to hurt. You're going to go through some pain. You're going to go through some oppositions. You're going to go through some trials. I'd be lying if I stood here and told you that you're not going to feel anything. But the point that Yahuwah has set before us and the way out and the way of escape is the fact that if we have him with us and in us, we are going to be the overcomers no matter what the situations are going to be. So I don't care if it's finances, I don't care if it's your job, I don't care if it's people, I don't care what it is that is coming on the offense to your walk in Yahuwah. Who do you serve? Who is your Abba? Who is your Elohim? The one that we profess that we serve should be the one on the forefront. He can't be on the forefront if we put ourselves there.
Come on.
Move that flag.
I told you something, did not I mentioned to Ahabah a couple of weeks ago. I said, when do we trust him enough. Y'all remember that?
Yeah, we trust man, why not him? That's right.
When do we trust him enough? We say he's Yahuwah Rapha, he's our healer, he's our Shalum, he's our peace, but you can't sleep at night. You stress it, you're worrying, you're complaining, you're murmuring unto an Elohim that we serve. Are you kidding me?
Come on, come on.
Is he not the same Elohim that brought you out before?
Come on, come on.
Why wouldn't you trust him
Come on.
enough to be transparent with him to say, I know I can't do this without you?
That's it.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
And I don't care what man says, and I don't care what man does. All I know is that my dependency is in you.
That's
and if
it.
you don't do this, I'm not coming out of this.
That's it.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
That's right.
Our livelihood is dependent upon Yahuwah and Yahuwah only. When will we realize that enough to yield not just our bodies, but yield our hearts
Come on, come on.
and yield our minds?
Come on.
We're easy to give our hearts and minds to other people, but when will we yield our hearts and our minds to the Most High?
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
It is imperative because there's a death sentence to us if we don't. This ain't picking and choosing. This ain't religion. This ain't none of those things that Yahshar'al put in our head
Come on,
to think that, it's about other things and not Him. If it comes out of this book, it's Yahuwah and Him only. Hand me that note. Somebody bring me that notebook, please.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you something. What I wrote down. I'm going to tell you something. There's a strong delusion going on.
Yes.
Even in Yahshar'al. And if we don't wake up. Let me tell you something. Be mindful, Yahshar'al. You have people who profess that there's more than one Elohim. You have people, I'm telling you what I know,
Yes, yes.
that are professing that whatever, as long as you know his name is not JC, you are okay. As long as you don't confess to be a Christian, you're okay. No. We got to come out of Babylon all the way. So now, I just want to point something out. Because it's on me to point it out.
Point it out.
You cannot eat from every table.
Hallelujah.
And I won't sit here and say that Ahabah or crying out for the laws are the only places. I'm not going to say that.
That's right.
What I will say is, it takes that same discernment you talked about to know the difference from what was originally inspired by Yahuwah from the counterfeit that has now immolated itself in Yahshar'al so that you still cause Yahuwah's name to be in vain.
Yeah.
Some of you don't even realize it. And this is one reason why when I teach from the pictogram and I teach from the original ancient paleo. It's because what has been sourced in its origin, anything that man did to translate, anything that man did to change when it comes to the name of our Elohim or when it comes to the operation of the Ruach is false. You can tell anybody I said it. don't care how you put it. You can put a hyphen in the middle. You can put a capital G on it. You can, listen, hear me. Hear the Father. Hear the Ruach.
Teach now. Get out.
Those are titles.
That's right.
That is not the name of your Elohim.
Come on, come on. Hallelujah.
And when you use it, those who have not studied to show themselves approved, go look it up.
That's right.
It is a Babylonian deity of fortune. Okay? But some of y'all still use it. Why? If you know this, which goes back to what you began talking about, then why would you still, Exodus 23:13, please, somebody. Shalum 23:13. If you know this, then are we not accountable people?
That's it.
I only heard two people. That's
Hallelujah.
not right.
That's it.
23:13.
Shalom 23:13. Read.
And in all things that I have said unto you,
Y'all talking too much.
be guarded, and make no mention of the name of other Elohim, neither let it be heard out of your mouth.
What? Read that last
Neither let it be heard out of your mouth.
part. A little preceding before that.
Make no mention of the name of another Elohim. Neither let it be heard out of your mouth.
This is Yahuwah speaking. Right? L-O-R-D. It's nothing but Baal. Some of y'all still saying that. Have mercy. I'm going to mention it.
Glory.
Because we truth telling.
Right.
We truth telling.
That's right.
He says, don't let it be heard out of your
Mouth.
What does it do to our Elohim when it comes out of our mouth?
Provokes them to anger. Jealousy.
But this is the Elohim I said I'm serving. This is the one that I say I love.
That's right.
This is the one I say I love, keeping his commandments and instructions. But yet, I provoke him. Right? So now, if you go back to the pictogram, Yahweh, right? I don't care what Jewish doctrine says. I don't care how many numbers come out of that tetragrammaton. If you go back to the ancient path, such as Jeremiah 6:16 tells us,
Right.
you're not going to find names that wasn't even created. So many of us know J didn't exist 600 years ago, but you also know W's, E's, O's, all of those other components didn't exist either. But it makes it acceptable to Yahuwah, and you will speak names in it with those vowels in it, and know better. What are you doing unto Elohim? What are you doing? What does he like it?
No.
Does that not fall under Shalom 23:13?
Yes.
Some of y'all know his name ain't even Yeshua. How could it be? You got to do your homework. Shua means to cry out. Is Yahusha still crying out?
No.
So then how could that be it? If W's, E's didn't exist, how could it be Yahweh?
Right.
Come on. Even the littlest things that we consider to be little, can offend the Most High. But if I don't tell you, and I hold back what is true, Then Yahuwah to me. Oh, it's quiet.
Come on.
See, I got enough Ahabah to tell you. And I got enough fear, reverential fear for Yahuwah to tell you, because I don't fear man. Man don't have no place to put me.
Hallelujah.
But we're so busy trying to be acceptable to others that we, oh, it's okay. So now you got more than one name for Elohim, when we know Elohim is a God. Yahuwah is one.
Yes, yes, yes.
But you can speak 4 or 5 different names and it be acceptable. Think about it. It's got to stop. You cannot modernize it. Doesn't Shalum tell you in the commandments not to take his name in vain? Not to make his name useless or of none effect? You make his name useless and of none effect. So how do we guard our mouths? It's quiet, but I love it.
Yeah.
And I love all of you. Ain't nothing you can do about it, though. So y'all gonna have to walk with me.
Come on. Tell the truth. Not supposed to be comfortable.
Most people don't pray or came out of praying, Elder Morah, because you mentioned prayer. But most people have come out of prayer because they call it Christian. They call getting in the face of the Most High religion. Does he not say that my house is a house of prayer? So if your temple is a house of prayer, how can you let Yahshar'al's devices keep you from seeking the face of the Most High?
Come on.
Now I admit, certain practices in religion are different than we found that they were in the ancient. But it doesn't mean don't cry and seek and give unto Yahuwah everything that is within you. It got so trickery is that we have even dismissed the gifts of the Ruach. So people seek more knowledge
Come on here.
than the operation in the Ruach HaKodesh. And that's why people today can't properly discern a thing.
Come on.
Because whether you realize it or not, you are rebelling against the Ruach HaKodesh because you rebel against the gifts.
Come on.
Yeah, that's right.
Warn them.
You rebel against the gifts. Even Shalum said, he said, in 1 Corinthians, he says, I speak more tongues than you all.
That's right.
He said, than all of you. He said, but I choose to. He said, I'd rather that you prophesy. And the reason that he said that is for clarity and understanding to be heard of what the Ruach HaKodesh is saying.
That's right.
What edification can a person get if they don't understand? We must be a people who operate in the Ruach HaKodesh and not our own spirit.
Say that.
I'm helping somebody.
Yes.
Many of us in the past churches learn how to pray through chanting. Even in the Christian church. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Right? JC, all day long.
Come on.
Hallelujah.
It's quiet, but it's okay. You didn't realize it was a practice of chanting. And the reason I call it that is because it was nothing but repetition to take your flesh to another place and create another energy That is not the true Ruach HaKodesh.
Come on.
However, there is a real HaKodesh. There is a real Ruach.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
We must get better. We must desire the true Ruach HaKodesh of our Abba.
Yes.
It doesn't mean you don't reach out to get in his presence.
Come on here.
Some of you have allowed Yahshar'al to cause you to be fearful of laying out and crying out before the Father. Because when he shows you his true presence, you'll back off away from it. I'm looking for transparent people today.
Come on.
I'm looking for people who are honest. And not let Yahshar'al back you up and cause you to say, oh, I'm getting too close to Christianity. I'm getting too close to religion. I'm getting too close to what it was like when I was in the church. And not just allow Yahuwah to have his way. Are y'all hearing me?
Yes.
Anything Yahshar'al does to cause you to back up away from seeking the face of the Most High is nothing but a distraction. It's something to cause you not to hear the voice of your Elohim. Hello?
Yes.
Paul said, I'd rather speak 5 words with understanding,
That's right.
that I might teach others. Hallelujah. So again, when do we trust Yahuwah instead of our own flesh? I got one more aspect I want to hit with you today. And I'm going to tell you why. And a lot of y'all not going to like me after this, but it's okay.
That's all
Because
right.
guess what? Y'all still Miss Parker.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
And guess what? I'll still be back.
That's right. Come on.
See, people can't rejoice before they hear what I'm saying.
Come on.
But it's all right.
That's right.
Let me talk to you. Ahabah and what is it? Crying out for the lost. Just because I don't even need this anymore. Just because you're in this truth and in this set apart walk, can I tell you something? Everybody listen. Everybody listen. Tanika, stop where you are. I don't want no movement right now. You know why? Because everybody's going to be accountable to what the Ruach is saying right now. Just because you're not in a church building, just because you're not no more in organized religion, let us understand something. Just because we got it and we understand, and understand that tithing is no longer a principle because there is no building, there is no structure over there in Jerusalem. Don't mean you don't give.
Come on now.
That's right.
Say that.
Hallelujah.
I don't care if you like or don't like what I just said.
I love you.
I'm telling you, even more now that you know who you serve, you should want other people to come to know the same Elohim. The renewed covenant is clear when it talks about the works in the Ruach. Does the scripture not still tell us to compel others to come?
Yes.
Okay. So when you was in church and you went to conferences and conventions and retreats and you sowed seeds and you gave 10% of whatever your income was, even though it wasn't required, how do you now come into this walk and say, Yahuwah don't need my money, so? How do you build all these fake edifices out here same way you used to witness the people out in the street, guess what? We've got a job to do.
That's it.
Do you think they're going to just walk in the door? You're going to have to go out
That's right.
and share the Ahabah of Yahuwah with people so that they know Elohim through the pardoning of their transgressions. So if you're on a train, if you're on the bus, if you're walking somewhere, why not create ways that may cost a couple of dollars to help build? I'm seeing this across the board in Yahshar'al. It's time for that to change. It's time for that to change. You can't go against book. And one thing the churches didn't teach you was this. One is the fact that instead of telling you about 10%, they didn't tell you that Yahuwah would have never restricted you to 10%.
Come on.
He would have never limited you to 10%. And if you want to take it a step further, even back then in scripture, when Yahuwah did allow those who felt that they could not carry the animals or the fruits or whatever it was to the temple, and he allowed them to convert it, don't you know they had to pay 20% on top of the 10, so it would have been 30%? 30%. What churches and organizations you know talking about ministering, giving 30%? Y'all would have laughed. Y'all would have said, I'm not giving 30%. But Renewed Covenant does tell you about giving.
Yeah.
It says, give out of the abundance of your heart. It says that Yahuwah loves a cheerful giver. Right? He doesn't restrict. And even for those who want to say, well, Shalum came around and every week he came around and he picked up, those wasn't tithes.
That's right.
There's another passage that tells you that even unto the apostles that were sent, what did they do? They gave all.
That's right. That's what it said.
But Elder Zakayah came and she told us to give all. That ain't what I said.
They put it at the feet.
They gave it. And then if you read the passage after that, you know what it says? It says that they gave, but nobody had a need. Nobody had a need.
That's right.
Because it was dispersed properly. So nobody had a need. But see, these organized religions have taught us not to trust nobody. So then when you do get true servants in your midst, you can't recognize it. That same discernment. The same people who are not out to make $1 off of you, you can't trust. You don't see that's a trick?
Hallelujah.
You don't see that's a snare? All I'm telling you today is stop being deceived.
That's right.
I got an obligation to tell you the truth.
That's right.
Did y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I am committed because of the Ahabah that I have unto Yahuwah to tell you the truth.
Hallelujah.
Some of you don't even realize he's going to use some of you sooner than others, some of you, to tell the truth
That's right.
to these leaders who are lying.
That's right.
He's going to call some of you to tell the truth
That's right.
to people who desire to know. So just as she said, are you going to fear the backlash? Or are you going to open up your mouth?
Hallelujah.
And what are you fearful of anyway? Psalm 118, 5 and 6 says, what can man do to me? Some of us are so worried about what man will do that we take the trust away from Abba and we begin to depend on ourselves.
Hallelujah.
And then self becomes a factor.
That's right.
And then self becomes to become the forefront. And self becomes to be in control.
Yes. Yes.
So then pride comes.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm too proud to share Yahuwah. Don't you know he didn't just share it with you for you to keep it for yourself?
Come on now.
We are outreach. We are evangelists.
That's
He
right.
tells us what to do.
That's right.
You can't cherry pick this word.
Come on here.
You can't cherry pick this Torah. You can't pick what you want and what sounds good and what feels good, and then the part that don't, just say, I don't feel like it. He knows my heart. I'm so ready to put that particular phrase under the dirt. Because we are always the first people to talk about he knows my heart. And I gotta be honest, that has come to be nothing but an excuse not to do the will of the Most High. So, knowing and understanding that, what are we going to do? What choice will each one of us make today to really walk this walk in pureness? Because he says only the pure in heart shall see him. Righteousness or flesh? Which one is it going to be?
Yes.
Set apart? There's only one way. Set apart. You can't say I'm set apart and don't live set apart.
Come on here.
Some of you don't even realize how many souls are waiting for you to open your mouth. How many people y'all pass by on the street day to day and don't share the Basura of Yahshar'al? That's a question.
Come on.
How many of y'all go to work every day? How many people are you passing by that you're not sharing the Basura of Yahshar'al with? Are you afraid to open your mouth? Are you afraid to open your mouth?
No.
Y'all afraid right now because y'all ain't saying nothing.
Afraid of rejection.
And that's honest. And I can even take that, but it still is not acceptable.
They rejected God.
Come on. So then it's time to cast out fear.
That's right.
Fear of rejection. It's time to cast fear out. Because what will we say unto Yahusha on that day? You going to tell him that?
Can't.
Fear. And I'm also inclined to believe that for some, and I'm not talking about her, but for some, it's not fear. For some of you, it's straight defiance. For some of you, it's rebellion. Because he told you more than one time to open your mouth. And you didn't. He told you more than once to put certain things down and you don't. He told you more than one time to have certain conversations, to stop having it, but you don't. We've got to be honest. We came from New York.
That's it.
Hallelujah. To just say, be honest.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
We came from New York to say, be transparent. See, I know people want to get, he's going to rebuke you.
Yeah.
No, we ain't telling no. We ain't gonna tell them that.
He just, rebuke you. So many barakas I see. Eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard. I can't tell you that. I'll tell you what he said. He said, if you keep my commandments.
Come on here.
He says, if you love me with all your heart, soul, and mind.
Come on.
He says, if you seek me first, seek ye first the kingdom of Yahuwah and all of his righteousness. He says, those who love me keep my commandments. He says, those who even won't seek to hear my commands, their prayers become an abomination. That's a nice way to put it, right? But the bottom line is still the same. That if you choose not to hear, for those of you who are sitting here today and say, I really don't want to hear that.
I want to hear that.
You're not rejecting me. You are rejecting the Most High. Because when he says hear, he means Shema. He means not only listen, but heed. So if you walk out of here today saying, you know what, I really didn't know, but now I know, and you make a conscious decision, then that's fine. But if you leave out of here and you say, you know what, that was too much, that was unnecessary, I really didn't like what she said, you're not rejecting me, you are rejecting the will of the Most High. Nobody is saved yet.
Come on.
Which means we all got work to do.
That's what you want to dance off right there. That's true.
Listen, they missed that. But it's all good.
Hallelujah.
I said nobody is saved yet. And some of us may not be saved in the end. Did y'all hear me?
Come on.
Some people sitting here today will not be saved in the end. Some people, I'll even take it a step further, names may be blotted out. See, we like to hear, my name is in the book. I'm going on the train of esteem. I'm going to walk the streets of gold. But that won't happen. Because guess what? Only he knows whose name is written in the book.
Hallelujah.
Torah teaches us that there are names that will even be blotted out. That means, you know what that means? That he had an intent in the beginning for you to make it. But then because of the choices that we make, he has no choice but to wipe those names out of the book. Could you imagine your name being written out of the book when you already know Yahuwah had an intent for your name to be there? And a lot of people don't think that's realistic. Because the mindsets just have to want to believe that that's not me. That can't be me. Well, why not you?
That's right.
I have to say it to myself. Why not me?
That's right.
So every day I have to aim and strive to remain in not just good standing, but righteous standing.
Righteous. That's it.
I'm going to give you this mic back. You know the danger you did in giving it to me, right? And we still have people who want to be right instead of being righteous.
Come on.
You're so busy trying to prove I'm right about a thing.
That's right.
I gotta have the last word because I gotta prove I'm right. I can't let it go. I can't let them think that they won. I'm the right one.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Unto the Most High, you won't have the last word.
Come on here.
And unto the Most High, he's not looking at whether you are right.
Come on.
He's looking at whether you are righteous.
That's it.
When he talked about Abraham, he talked about Abraham being righteous. When he talked about David, what did he say? David was a man of my own heart, right? He called David what? Righteous.
Right.
It comes from a way and a standard of living in Elohim.
That's right.
I'm just self-sufficient. You can't take that nowhere. It's not going with you. None of it is going with you. So what are you trying to store up? You need to be trying to store righteousness. So Abba can say, I'm well pleased.
That's it.
God good and come on. Servants. Servants.
Servant.
Servants. What's the uh-oh? Because y'all know.
Servant.
Serve.
That's it.
I'm not too good.
Come on here. Come on here.
See, a lot of y'all in churches stood up on the $50, $100, $200 line. Had preachers that wouldn't even come to y'all churches because you gave them what they call that honorarium.
Come on.
And some of y'all got on that line because you just know out of that prophetic word for that $250 your life was going to change. It changed. You was $250 broke. And let somebody tell you that your Morah wasn't in the right place. And that's why you didn't get what they said you was going to have. Oh, your Morah must have wavered. You was doubting too much. That's what happened. Better get it together in the mind. Don't you know the heart operates just like the mind?
Come on.
That you can make decisions with your heart the same way you make decisions with your mind. And if you be honest about it, how many decisions were made with your heart? Instead of the mind of the Ruach HaKodesh, how many decisions did you make with your heart?
Come on here.
That led you down the wrong path. And some of you still paying for them choices. You can't make a decision with your heart. Because the scripture says that the heart is desperately wicked.
You know it.
What man can know it? Hallelujah! Barak Yahuwah!
Barak Yahuwah!
Barak Yahuwah! Barak Yahuwah! Abba wants us to not just hear, but heed. When you have something that is sound, you want it to flourish unto Yahuwah. So even in this part of what I said wasn't even about finances. It was about the servitude of our hearts. Because guess what? On the day when you don't even have it, you should be like, what can I do to help build? What can I do to help spread this message of Yahusha? What can we do together and collaboratively? And see, the reason I say that I'll be back is because it doesn't matter whether it's New York or here or in between, that the likeness of spirit will operate to evangelize no matter where we go or who we talk to. And whether you like it or not, when you have a like spirit, you are mispaka to the end. See, some of us get a little attitude. I don't like what she said. I'm not talking to her no more. You know,
That's a
where do we get that foolishness from? Family don't do that. That's the way the world told us to handle relationships. But that's not the way Abba told us.
Come on here.
Look at Jonathan and Dayon. Look at so many, even with Naaman the prophet, no matter what, he had to be respected for what he said, even if he didn't like.
Come on. Come on. Knock it off the floor.
I say things a lot of time I know this woman don't like.
I sure do.
She don't say everything I like sometimes. But you know what? That's still not cool.
Hallelujah.
We have to learn take things and not be offended. Yahuwah said, Baruch is those who do not get offended in me. If it's of Yahuwah, how dare you get offended?
That's right.
That's an area of growth. And no matter what my Ahabah is to the end, nobody can ever bring me, but all of you who operate in a light spirit, I don't care who it is, I'm a ride or die.
Yes, you did.
I don't have to say, most of y'all know that about me.
That's right. Hallelujah.
But you know what? I think it's a perfect time. I'm not going to delay no more. Come. I want you to stand right here. Don't worry about it. Come on,